Greetings everyone and welcome back to 3D Blast! Alright, today we're in the, well, I guess it's the obligatory casino pinball type level that all Sonic games seem to have. And this one is no exception. This level's full of springs, bouncers, spikes, deadly things. We're going to be running through it pretty fast though, because that's the tradition of Sonic games. There's a spider, not very dangerous. And there's a wasp? I don't know. Anyway, also not very dangerous. This level does introduce several different kinds of enemies, and we will get to them as we get to them. Make sure to collect a lot of rings here, because there are a few opportunities to get into the special stage, although we only need one more emerald, so we don't need to be looking for too many special stages. But I'll find at least one. Hey, a pufferfish. That guy's only dangerous when he puffs up, otherwise hit him from below. If you're crafty and good at aiming in this 8-directional pseudo 3D environment, you can bounce off of the balloons that you saw over the spikes there earlier, but that's kind of hard to do. I find that just running and jumping pretty much solves your problem most every time. Anyway, I didn't talk about that little crab enemy, but he's also very not dangerous at all. Just, you know, moves around, minding his own business until Sonic decides to ruin his day. Anyway, hey, look, an extra life. Alright, we have 6 lives. I don't know what I need them all for, because this game isn't really that hard, but hey, whatever. Trying to find that last flicky. There you are, little bastard. Anyway, time to move on from this section, after getting a golden shield, of course. I love that thing. Can never go wrong. Are. Alright, Spring Yard Zone is not very long because each of its acts only has 2 sections, so shouldn't be too hard to deal with. I do love the music for it though, it's pretty fun. Although the Stage 2 music is better than the Stage 1 music, in my opinion, but you can decide for yourself how you feel about that. The one thing that can really get in your way in this level are the bumpers. They can send you to places you did not want to go. Now, I've been playing this for a little bit. This is the 3rd video. I haven't really talked about the flicky differences. Now, you may have noticed that they're all different colors. Now, this does bear on their behavior. The blue flickies pretty much just circle in a little bit of area, waiting for someone to come pick them up. Purple flickies will circle in a slightly larger area, waiting for Sonic to pick them up. Green flickies will kind of meander around, looking for Sonic. And the red ones just kind of hop back and forth. And in general make themselves difficult to capture, like the little bastards that they are. Anyway, with all the lives and continues this game gives you, it's got to be impossible to get a game over. Hey, Knuckles. Alright, so it's time to do the final special stage. Alright, we've got all the emeralds, so you know what that means? Supersonic! Oh, wait. No, they cut Supersonic from this game. You can't do Supersonic, but somebody released a hack of this game that allows you to be Supersonic after collecting all the emeralds, so as a bonus, I'll also show off that hack just for fun, so you can see what it would be kind of like. And it's not simply a recolor. They actually gave him Super Shoes and Invincibility with that recolor, so that'll be fun. Anyway, we'll get to that. We finished Act 1, and time to move on. Alright, as I mentioned before, Act 2 has much better music, I think. It suits the atmosphere a little bit better. It's also just as easy and just as short as Act 1, so don't be looking for too many surprises. But don't worry, there are harder levels coming up. Alright, those little black dots on the floor are spike traps that will shoot up and try to attack you if you walk on them, so don't walk on them, obviously. Now, by now, most people, if they're actively looking for Sonic and Tails, Knuckles and Tails already have all of the emeralds, but there's an opportunity in Act 2 as well to meet up with Sonic and God, I keep saying Sonic. What the fuck is wrong with me? Tails and Knuckles. There's an opportunity to meet up with them later. In fact, there's 2 of them in the same place. I'll show you that in a moment. One thing I didn't like about this was they gave you the contrived out-of-control loops instead of you being able to go through them, but I can foresee a lot of people having trouble with going through the loops, I guess. I don't know. Hey, there they are. If you go up and around, you can meet up with them. That's kind of an opportunity to get all of the emeralds there. Of course, you should have them all by now. Oh boy, that was fun. As you can see, though, just running through the level is kind of your friend here. It kind of negates all of the pseudo-difficulty that they put into it. This is kind of 3D Blast's way of adding the pinball feature of the original casino levels, but it kind of fails. It's really hard to do a pinball feature in a 3D game. But, I mean, I guess I'll give them credit for doing it, but hey, whatever. Oh, remember when I said each act has 2 sections? I lied. Act 2 has 3 sections. But that's okay. You won't crucify me for it, I hope. Now, this is the one part where you have to bounce on balloons, but like as long as you stick with the wall, nothing too difficult. Hey there, Crab Monster, but first I'm getting this golden shield because it's a bitchin' shield. The homing attack is something that's, I think, is a great addition to the Sonic franchise, but it does kind of make things a little easier, but this game they were still working it out, I think, so it's not as easy. You can home in on enemies, but not on item boxes. You can home in on the balloons, however, but it doesn't really help you because you just bounce straight up after jumping on them. Kills your momentum. Anyway, Act 2 is done. Time to fight the boss. Alright, Spring Stadium's boss is slightly harder than the first 2, which makes sense in difficulty progression. Stay away from his spiky hands. There's not much you can do to him while he's flying around like this. You have to wait for him to come down, like so! Crash into his glass globe. There's probably a way to cheese this and get 2 hits off of him, but I'm not exactly sure. I've only ever been able to get 1. Which makes the fight go kinda slowly, but that's okay. After that fast level, it's nice to take a little leisurely pace through the boss fights. You can always pass the time by making laps around the center hill. You know, Sonic is practicing for, I don't know, God knows what, 5K, for charity. And I'm rambling. You may have noticed by now that there are actually 2 boss themes in this game. So, it's kind of nice to have a game with 2 boss themes. Alternate between the 2, you know. Keep things lively. Alright, this is the final blow. Goodbye to Robotnik's machine. Sonic will moonwalk down this hill and we will cut on out of this act. So, I'll see you guys next time for the ice-themed level. Later.